Go back to, unfortunately, all of that devastation in California. You have the state's attorney general cracking down on price gouging. California AG Rob Bonta has filed charges against a local real estate agent who allegedly increased the price of a rental by about 38% after the application was sent in. California law prohibits raising the price of an item by more than 10% of its price before a state or a local declaration of emergency. What does one of LA's, if not the top real estate agent as state developers, make of all of this? Joining us now, I'm so pleased to say, the agency founder and CEO, Mauricio Umansky. Great to have you here. Unfortunately, we wish it were better circumstances. But you are a co-founder of the American Real Estate Association. Can you just talk about some of these allegations and some of the price gouging that you may or may not be hearing about?
Yeah, I'm not fully aware about this particular case regarding the price gouging, but it's terrible. We should not be price gouging. I mean, I can tell you that we had a conversation with all of our agents when this thing started to happen, and we made sure that we were all aware about the laws and the rules that we had to follow, and that price gouging was absolutely not allowed.
Yeah.
We've been educating some of our landlords, some of our owners, to make sure that they understand that that we cannot raise the price by more than 10%. Mm-hmm. And we have a mandate at our company where if anybody does want to do that or wants to price gouge, that we're just not going to work with them.
Yeah. What is the state of real estate right now in LA?
It's extremely difficult. There are 10, 20 applicants for every house right now.
Wow.
And what happens with that is that if there's 10 applicants, 9 get rejected.
Yeah.
And these people are sad. They've lost everything. And then they go to the next house and they put in their application and they get rejected again. And then the next house and then they get rejected again. And it's a really bad position for everybody to be in right now. And it's very sad.
A colleague of yours, a friend of the industry of yours, Jason Oppenheim.
Love him. Good friend.
Good. We had him on a few weeks ago, and he'd made an interesting comment about a lot of deals maybe potentially falling out of escrow because if you want a mortgage, you now have the lender coming to make sure there's a house still standing. You're worried, can you even get insurance? What has some of that deal making been like for you?
Yeah, for the most part, the homes that are already under contract, that are already in escrow, are staying in escrow.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that there's, a feeling that there's going to be an over demand right now for homes. And so therefore it's like, oh, I've got my house, I'm not taking the risk, I'm staying in, and that exists. However, having said that, there's a moratorium on insurance policies right now. And if you're going to get a mortgage, you have to have fire insurance as part of the mortgage. That's a mandate.
Yes.
Okay. And so for right now, we're going to see probably a little bit of a slowdown unless you have cash, in terms of buying homes. The rental market is bananas. It's, everybody's chasing that. We're seeing clients go to places like Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Brentwood, Manhattan Beach, north to Santa Barbara. And a lot of people are leaving the city and are leaving the state, to be honest with you.
What is, some of the biggest questions that you're getting from clients right now? Is it an insurance question? Is it a price question? When clients call you and they're so desperate, they've maybe lost their home, what is that question that they come to you with?
Well, the immediate need is housing, okay?
Yeah.
The immediate need is just, how can you help me put a roof over my head, okay? They're asking us, as agents, we're kind of first responders. We're like right there. Like
Yeah.
the victims right now need a place to live, okay? Hotels, condos, apartments, we're trying to find these places and we're working tirelessly to get them into places. The next question starts becoming like, how do I start rebuilding? How do I collect from my insurance company? Can you help me get into a school?
Can we talk about rebuilding? Not to bring up Jason Oppenheim again, but he said, honestly, realistically, we're lucky if we rebuild in 5 to 7 years because of all the regulation and the red tape. And I know California is trying to maybe reduce some of that. But what does a realistic rebuilding timeline look like to you?
Well, first, it's cleanup. Let's get this, the dirt ready for cleanup. Let's see what that looks like. We have a lot of questions. Then we've got to deal with the insurance companies, the mortgage companies. A lot of these things have, mortgages. Will there be enough insurance to rebuild the house? But let's just assume all of that happens and works. I think we're looking at a minimum of 12 to 18 months of cleanup. Okay.
Wow.
And then from there, we're looking at another, 2 or 3 years of construction at a minimum. So we're really looking at a 5-year plan to start seeing this, rebuilt.
And quickly, I know it's early days, but do you see in some of the developers that you work with a difference in the material? Do I do concrete instead of wood, especially if I'm worried about the future of California?
Well, first of all, I think that we need to definitely worry about that. And we need to be looking at fire, retention and all of that. But we also need to start looking about preventing future damage to other places. Like, let's learn from this. Let's not let this just be one of those things that happens and then we don't learn and it happens again.
Yeah.
So retrofitting, homes, right? Like right now in California, when you have to retrofit a house every time it sells for earthquake shutoff valves, gas shutoff valves. So now let's start figuring out what that next step is so that we're retrofitting a house to avoid this type of disaster.
2 years from now, God, fearing.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Mauricio Umansky, we really, really appreciate your time here with the breaking news. We were short, but we're so grateful for your presence. Thank you. And we wish